Okay, here are the letter solutions to Lesson 5, Chapter 2. Our first problem is negative 3 times the quantity 9 plus x equals 33. Well, first of all, don't let it upset you that these two are flipped. Remember, the commutative property of addition allows us to do that. Okay, so we're just going to distribute this over the two terms just exactly like we would normally. Another thing that will trip some kids up is the negative 3 here. Don't worry about that. Always carry the sign with it, whether the sign is here or here or here. The sign goes with the term when you do the multiplying. So it's negative 3 times a positive 9 is negative 27. Very easily done. Negative 3 times a positive x is negative 3x. And then of course we have 33. And now it's a simple process of doing the steps that you've done in the past. We have a negative 27 here. In order to undo negative 27, we want to add 27 to that. And also add 27, of course, to the other side of the equation. This becomes a zero pair, so it zeroes out. We have negative 3x equals 33 plus 27, which is 60. Divide both sides, divided by negative 3. I'd like you to get used to doing it like this, dividing by negative 3, but I wrote it out. Negative 3x divided by negative 3, of course, is positive x. 60 divided by negative 3 is negative 20. Now I want to ask you if you checked here, because if you did something wrong up here on this problem, it is the letter A problem, and I'm kind of surprised that they put in a couple of different things here. But if you did not have the right answer, don't forget that every single one of these problems in algebra, you can check your own answers. You don't have to wait until the video to check your answers. Put your answer in. Put negative 20 in here. 9 minus 20 would of course be negative 11. Negative times a negative is a positive, and 3 times 11 is 33. Learn to check your own so that you find your own mistakes. You will learn greatly from them. Letter B. 5 times the quantity a minus 7 equals 25. We distribute here, we get 5a minus 35 equals 25. Undo the subtraction of 35 by adding to both sides. We have another zero pair here. It zeroes out. We have 5a equals 60. Divide both sides by 5. We have a equals 12. And of course, if we check that, we'll find out that that is correct. Letter C. 3 times the quantity 6 minus 4x equals negative 2 times the quantity 6x minus 9. Distribute both sides, and we get 18 minus 12x equals negative 12x plus negative times a negative is a plus 18. Now we notice that this looks awful similar, so I'm going to show you that we can flip this and end up with 18 minus, carry the sign with it, 12x, and now we have exactly identical. If you can notice it at this point here, that is fine, but it's probably not a bad idea to move the two terms here. Just don't forget to bring the sign with when you go. And of course, this is an identity, therefore our solution is all numbers. On to letter D. We have 2 times the quantity 3x plus 5 equals 5 times the quantity 2x minus 4, and then subtract 4x from that. We distribute. We have 6x plus 10 equals 10x minus 20 minus the 4x. Combine our like terms of x's, and 10x minus 4x is 6x. Don't forget that this sign goes with the 4x. Now we have 6x plus 10 equals 6x minus 20. Some of you will notice right away that we have a problem here, but let's go through the procedure. We subtract 6x from both sides. We have a zero pair here, a zero pair here, so we end up with 10 equals negative 20. That is not a correct statement. We change it, does not equal. Key here is to answer no solution, null set, empty set, all would be okay solutions. Here are your solutions to the guided practice for Lesson 5, Chapter 2. Our first problem is negative 8 times the quantity w minus 6 equals 32. We distribute the negative 8, we get negative 8w. Negative 8 times negative 6 is positive 48. equals 32. So we subtract 48 from both sides. We have a 0 pair right here. And we have negative 8w equals 32 minus 48. Take the difference between the two and apply the negative sign, which is negative 16 since it's more negative than positive. And divide both sides by negative 8, we get w equals 2. Again, if you put that solution into your original equation, you could have proven it yourself. Number 2, we have 8z minus 22 equals 3 times the quantity 3z plus 11, and then subtract z from that. Notice I put the little hash through there. If you would like to in problems like this and just change it to x or some other variable, that is fine with me, so that it doesn't look like a 2. So we have 8z minus 22 equals, when we distribute this, sorry about that, we have 9z plus 33 here, and then subtract the z. Now we combine the 9z and the negative z, so 9z minus 1z would be 8z plus 33 on this side, 8z minus 22 on this side. We have two 0 pairs here after we subtract 8z from both sides, and we have negative 22 equals 33. That does not equal, so we change it, and we have no solution to our equation. Next problem, number 3. First of all, they tell us that Juliet has 10 more than Rosanna, or collected 10 more, I should say. Santiago collected twice as many as Juliet. The reason I'm putting these both in terms of Juliet is because they ask you how many did Juliet collect. And we collected a total of 130 between the three. So we want to talk about these two individuals, Rosanna and Santiago, in terms of Juliet. So the first thing we want to do is let J represent the number of cans Juliet collected. So then we should look at this problem and we should think, well, this is really relatively easy. It's Rosanna's cans plus Juliet plus Santiago is going to give us 130. So the first part of it, Juliet, will be easy. That's J. Okay? Now we have to talk about Rosanna in terms of Juliet. Well, according to our problem, Juliet collected 10 more than Rosanna. So if we think about it, Rosanna would be Juliet's cans minus those 10 extra. So Juliet minus 10, we can plug that in to replace Rosanna. Okay, and now we have Santiago. Well, that was easy. He collected twice as many as Juliet, so that obviously is 2 times Juliet, or 2J. So now if we add all this up, we will get our 130. So we have J minus 10, this part of it, plus J for Juliet, plus 2J for twice Juliet for Santiago, equals 130. We can combine the J, and the 2J. That is 4J minus 10 equals 130. We'll continue on the next board. So we have 4J minus 10 equals 130. Add 10 to both sides. We're going to add 10 to both sides because we subtracted 10 here. We have 4J equals 140. 140 divided by 4 is 35. So Juliet collected 35 cans. Thank you, and please do the independent practice.